They raised 5 children, but spent their last years waiting for a phone call. Every evening, the old father set 2 plates, even though no one came. When people ask me what loneliness feels like, I do not tell them about silence. I tell them about sound. The sound of a phone that never rings. The sound of footsteps that never reach the door. The sound of hope waking up every morning, only to fall asleep again by night. I am a mother of 5 children. 5. At one time, this house was never quiet. There were school bags by the door, shoes everywhere, voices calling out, laughing, arguing, singing. Now I hear only the clock. Tick, tick, tick. I used to believe that raising children was like planting trees. You water them, you protect them, you wait, and one day they give you shade. But no one told me that sometimes the trees grow so tall, they forget the ground that held them. I am not angry, I do not shout, I do not complain, I just wait. Every morning I wake up before the sun. I sit by the window with my tea. I look at my phone. No missed calls, no messages. I tell myself, maybe today. This is not a story about bad children. It is a story about time, about distance, about how love slowly becomes a memory if no one comes back to visit it. And this is the story of how my husband and I spent our final years waiting for a phone call. Set up our life before silence. My name is Amina. I am 72 years old. I live in the same house where I raised all my children. The walls are old, the paint is fading, but every corner still remembers laughter. My husband, Rashid, is 76. He walks slowly now. His hands shake when he pours tea, but his eyes are kind. They always have been. We were not rich people, but we were never poor in love. Rashid worked as a clerk in a small office for more than 40 years. He left home early every morning. He returned late every evening. His shoes were worn, his back was tired, but he never complained. I stayed home, I cooked, I cleaned. I washed clothes by hand, I packed lunches, I wiped tears, I kissed scraped knees. I stayed awake through fevers and exams and heartbreaks. We raised 5 children in this house, 3 sons, 2 daughters, each one different, each one precious. When they were young, they promised us many things. They said, "We will never leave you alone." They said, "You will live with us when you are old." They said, "This is our home forever." I believed them, not because they promised, but because they were my children. Back then, evenings were my favorite time. All of us sat around the dining table. Food was simple, rice, lentils, vegetables. But the table was full. Rashid would ask about school. I would remind them to finish their food. Someone would complain. Someone would laugh. The house felt alive. I did not know that one day I would sit at the same table, with only 2 plates. The children grow up. Time does not ask permission, it moves. The children grew taller, their voices changed, their dreams became bigger than this house. One by one they left for studies, for jobs, for marriage. At first it felt normal. This is life, I told myself. My eldest son moved to another city. He called every weekend, then every month, then only on holidays. My second son went abroad, different time zone, busy life. His calls became short. "Ami, I'm at work." "I'll call later." Later did not always come. My daughters married. They had their own homes, their own families, their own worries. I understood, I really did. Rashid and I told each other, this is how it should be. We smiled, we stayed strong. At least, that is what we showed. At night, when the lights were off, Rashid would whisper, "Do you think they remember us?" I would answer softly, "Of course they do." But my heart was not always sure. The quiet house. When the last child left, the house changed, not suddenly, slowly. The rooms felt bigger, the air felt heavier. I stopped cooking large meals, I stopped buying extra vegetables, I stopped waiting by the door at sunset. But I did not stop hoping. Every ring of the phone made my heart jump. Every knock at the door made me stand up quickly. Sometimes it was only a wrong number, sometimes it was a delivery boy, sometimes it was no one at all. Rashid began to sit quietly for long hours. He listened to the radio, he read old newspapers. One day, I saw him holding a photo album. He was looking at pictures of the children when they were small. I asked gently, "What are you thinking?" He smiled and said, "They were happy here." That night I cried quietly so he would not hear me. Waiting becomes a habit. Waiting slowly became our routine. Morning tea, short walk, lunch, afternoon nap, evening prayers, dinner, and always checking the phone. Birthdays came, festivals came, years passed. Sometimes the children visited, short visits, busy visits. They talked about work, about money, about their children. They stayed for a few hours. Then they left. The house felt louder when they came, but emptier when they went. After one visit, Rashid said quietly, "They look at us like guests now." I did not answer. I